Imagine your favorite team making the playoffs 3 years in a row and never once getting to play at home. No home crowd, no home field, not one single game. For 3 straight years, that's literally been the deal for every Mexican team in the League's Cup. And it wasn't an accident. It was the rule. In 2026, that rule finally breaks. Mexico gets home games for the first time ever, and the reason it's happening now, this exact year, is not a coincidence. It's a mix of fan pressure, a commissioner who finally caved, and a World Cup that's about to blow the doors off soccer in North America. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why Mexico got shut out for so long, who forced the change, and why one specific stadium hosting a single match this year is a genuinely massive deal. That stadium hosted actual World Cup finals. Stick around, because it's the last name on this list you'd expect. The basics for anyone who's never heard of League's Cup. Let's back up. What even is the League's Cup? Simple version. MLS is the top soccer league in the United States and Canada. Liga MX is the top league in Mexico. In 2023, they decided to stop pretending the other one doesn't exist and created a tournament where every team from both leagues plays each other. That's 18 MLS clubs, 18 Liga MX clubs, 36 teams total, all competing for one trophy. In theory, this is a great idea. Cross-border soccer, built-in rivalries, big crowds. In practice, there's been one massive problem. Every single match has been played in the United States or Canada. Every single one. Why Mexico got shut out? Here's where it gets interesting. When the tournament launched, the whole pitch was built around American and Canadian stadiums. Big NFL venues, massive crowds, a made-for-you.s television spectacle. Which sounds great, unless you're a Liga MX fan, because if you support a Mexican club, you've watched your team play 3 straight tournaments without a single home match. No home atmosphere, no home advantage, just travel, and more travel. You know the type of situation this creates. Mexican fans and club executives got loud about it, and they weren't wrong. Playing an entire competition on the road puts your league at a built-in disadvantage. Jet lag is real, unfamiliar fields are real, and frankly, it's just not fair. The pressure builds. This sounds like a small scheduling issue. It isn't. For 3 years, this was a genuine sore spot between the two leagues. Liga MX clubs were basically saying, we're bringing our biggest stars, our biggest fan bases, and our biggest brands to your tournament, and we don't get a single home game out of it? That's not a partnership. That's a road trip with extra steps. And here's the thing about growing a tournament. If one side of the partnership feels shortchanged, that tournament doesn't grow. It stalls. So MLS Commissioner Don Garber floated the fix everyone had been waiting for. A reciprocal deal. Mexico hosts 2. Enter the World Cup factor. Now here's the timing that makes this whole thing click. 2026 isn't just another year for North American soccer. It's the year the World Cup lands in the United States, Mexico, and Canada all at once. The biggest sporting event on the planet hosted right here. League's Cup 2026 kicks off less than 3 weeks after that World Cup ends. Think about what that means. Stadiums across Mexico just got a massive infrastructure glow up. Fan interest in soccer across the region is about to spike like never before. And Liga MX walks into that moment finally getting to say, come watch us play at home. The timing isn't an accident. It's the whole point. The actual 2026 setup. So what does this actually look like on the field? 36 teams. All 18 Liga MX clubs. All 18 MLS clubs. Running from August 4th to September 6th. Same format as last year. 3 group stage games each. Top teams advance to a knockout bracket. But here's the twist. For the first time ever, 4 of those group stage matches will be played in Mexico. The top 3 ranked Liga MX clubs get to host. Toluca hosts 2 matches at their stadium. Tigres hosts 1 in Nuevo Leon. And Club América hosts 1 at Estadio Azteca. Yeah, Estadio Azteca. The same stadium that hosted the 1970 and 1986 World Cup finals. The same stadium where Diego Maradona scored the hand of God. That building is now going to host a League's Cup group stage match. That's not a small gesture. That's a statement. What's still missing? Now, before you think this is a total fix, here's the catch. Only 4 matches out of 54 in the group stage happen in Mexico. That's it. And once the knockout rounds start, quarterfinals, semifinals, the final, everything goes right back to the US. So if a Mexican team makes a deep playoff run, they still have to pack their bags and cross the border again. In theory, this is progress. In practice, it's a first step, not a finish line. Think of it like a company finally giving one department a seat at the table, but the big decisions still happen somewhere else. It's better. It's not equal yet. Why this actually matters. So why should you care about 4 matches in a group stage? Because this is how tournaments evolve. Nobody builds the perfect format on day 1. They build something, listen to complaints, and adjust. League's Cup just made its first real adjustment, and it happened to land in the exact year the entire region's soccer spotlight is at its brightest. If this works, if Mexican crowds show up, if the atmosphere at Estadio Azteca is what everyone expects it to be, don't be surprised if 2026 2027 brings even more matches south of the border. This is a test run, and it's happening on the biggest possible stage, the wrap-up. So let's bring this back to where we started. For 3 years, Mexican teams played an entire tournament without a single home game, and in 2026, that finally ends thanks to fan pressure, a commissioner willing to listen, and a World Cup that made the timing perfect. One sentence version, if you're explaining this to a friend, Leagues Cup finally gave Mexico a home game, and it only took 3 years and a World Cup to make it happen. Here's the question worth sitting with. If 4 matches in Mexico goes well this year, how long before the whole tournament looks completely different? My prediction? By 2028, the knockout rounds cross the border too. And when that happens, you'll want to already know how we got here. Subscribe now, because next week I'm breaking down exactly what happens if a Mexican team wins it all on home soil for the first time. You don't want to miss that one.